But Nick has already given us a little foretaste of something to celebrate. I wanted to start this afternoon beyond greeting the ministers, excellencies, everyone on the panel. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to all of you for taking the time in a very, very busy day. But I wanted to start with a wonderful piece of news that is not directly related, but could be certainly very beneficial to what we are doing here. And that is, those of you who are on Twitter will already know the wonderful news that is only a few minutes old. The ad hoc working group of the Kyoto Protocol has just moved its text, passed it on as a text to the conference meeting as a meeting of the parties of the Kyoto Protocol, which means when the AWG moves a text to the CMP, it means it will not be worked on further at the technical level. The negotiators have said we have worked on it as far as we can, and we need that process to go to the CMP so that ministers can now engage with that text to finalize a few outstanding issues. But it is an enormous victory for the Kyoto Protocol because, as we know, we will, as a community of nations, adopt a second commitment period of the Kyoto Protocol tomorrow. So history is in the making before your very eyes. Then let me turn to this afternoon's event. And first, I would like to thank Dominique and the World Economic Forum. Thank you very much for this fantastic partnership that we have started here. We are quite delighted to be working with the WEF to launch what is the third pillar of the Momentum for Change initiative. We have one that focuses on urban poverty because it is the urban poor that are the most affected. Within the urban poor, it is the women who are most affected, hence we have a pillar for women, and it is finance that is going to bring a huge part of the solution, hence our finance pillar. The point of Momentum for Change is actually to begin to explore what is the space here of solutions. Yes, we have talked about the problems. Yes, we have talked about the challenges for a long time. But the time to move from challenge to solutions on the table is very much at hand. And so the point of Momentum for Change is to begin to look at that. What are the solutions that are already being implemented in the first pillar for poverty eradication and climate change, in the second for empowering women to be agents of change, and in this pillar, what are the financial instruments, models that are being already developed in a very innovative and creative way to help accelerate both mitigation and adaptation. We will be launching a call for proposals on April 13th, is that correct? On April 13th, and we expect many proposals to come in. The point of those proposals would be to highlight and exemplify private and public partnerships that are already underway and that are putting together innovative financing mechanisms to address. Because we frankly want to explore four questions that are vexing questions. First, what are the existing instruments that we have on the existing financial instruments? Which of them are more appropriate for the various sectors that we have along the abatement curve? Because there are many different sectors that need financing. Each of them will very clearly require different types of financing. So we would like to explore among the projects that we will look at, how is the appropriateness of financing being brought together with the specific requirements of each sector. So that with respect to existing financial models. We also would like to look at, okay, we clearly know that the financing models that we have on the table, we cannot rely exclusively on them. We do need innovative thinking, thinking out of the box, creative ways of getting at this. And thirdly, in particular, we need to see how can we maximize the public financing that is going to be available, but that is going to be scarce. How do we maximize that in order to leverage the much more preponderant participation of private sector financing that is going to be there? So how do we use the first to de-risk the second, and how do we bring them together in these particular projects? And And fourthly, very, very challenging, what is being learned already from projects that are successfully financing adaptation? Because that is very much the sector in the climate negotiations and in addressing climate that is behind with respect to finding solutions. So we must accelerate our thinking on how are we going to finance adaptation, completely break the mold that adaptation can only be done by public financing. If that is our only answer, that's not going to be sufficient. It won't do the trick. So how do we also engage with the challenging question of financing adaptation? All of these questions are the ones that we would like to explore with the projects that we will be calling for on April 13th. And in order to illustrate this, I would like to introduce a short video that will introduce the kinds of ideas and projects that we will be looking for on April 13th. And could we please have the video?